What is going on, guys? My name is Maxx Chewning, content creator and business owner, and today you are going to hear about maybe why you should or shouldn't get into certain aspects of social media. Welcome to EVERFORWARD Radio.
What's up, bro?
What's happening?
Now, we actually just came back from lunch and talking about like where you are, where anyone really can be in terms of once you reach a certain, we'll say, status or following or audience size on social media. And that's when a lot of other people begin to, of course, notice you, but ask you to like be a part of things like a podcast, for example.
Yeah.
How many times would you say on average, just give me a rough estimate a month, are you asked to like be a part of somebody else's audience? And like social media or a podcast
Well, I probably don't see all of them. I guess the ones I'm really bad at. Like a lot of people send me like emails, and like I get an influx of them throughout the day, and like so I just see. I don't know.
By the way, you never emailed me back.
Did you? Oh,
I'm just kidding. I never emailed you.
I'd say I would say on any given month, probably like I don't know, 5 to 10 different like avenues. And then I get approached in person and stuff. A lot of people like want me to, I guess, be on their videos, be on the podcast, be on their, whatever, some form of contact, I guess. But yeah, I'd probably say like 5-10 times a month.
And in the beginning, and we won't go through the whole backstory again. Anybody wants to hear like, how did you get here? What is your story? You've been on here before. I'll make sure to list that down in the show notes for everybody. But in the beginning, especially in like the YouTube content creation world, social media world, those kind of collaborations were important, and I'd say still are, but it's not the same thing for you now. So you have to have a little bit more selective process to things you say yes to, right?
Well, it's not necessarily that. I think a lot of people just want a shortcut to. I don't know. I think collaborations have changed a lot since I started on YouTube. But back then they were more effective than I think they are now. I still think no matter what, obviously if someone doesn't know someone, you collaborate, it goes a long way. But I think a lot of people nowadays, because social media is becoming this very norm thing to do, I think a lot of people think that either just me being in their content or them being in my content is going to catapult them to success and money and all those sorts of things. That's just not how it works. People.
How does it work?
You have to provide like a reason for people to come over to your channel. If I put Joe Schmo like into my video and I'm just like, hey, here's this guy. He has a YouTube channel. He has a podcast. Go check him out. Like 95% of my audience would be like, why? Why should I go check this guy out? And it's like, oh, because I was on it. It's like I can see your content here. Like why would I go to a third party version to see a different thing of like I'm getting the grade A content from you directly. Why would I go to like another thing that you're doing? And you might get a couple, but I think, and then a lot of people get like maybe disappointed. They're like, I was in your channel, I was in this. Like, why didn't I blow up? And it's just because like people just want this like quick kind of thing. And when we did collaborations back in the day, it was again social media was so different when I started, because then when you collaborated, everyone was kind of smaller. So then like everyone, when you did get an influx of people, you were still trying to create content and still trying to improve. Where I feel like now people, they want the quick growth, and then they just want to like try to like ride it out easy. And I'm like, this isn't easy to do. It's not easy what I do. Anyone can do it, but not everyone can be successful at it. Like everyone's starting a podcast, everyone's starting a YouTube channel every day. Everyone thinks that they're have some sort of like crazy cool thing to bring to the world, but like not everyone's cut out for like certain things, because everyone like wants to do it, but not everyone should do it, I think.
Why do you think that is? Is it because of just where the world and society has gotten in terms of what we have access to? Like maybe we reached a little bit of a saturation point, or is it just people aren't investing enough of that initial time into really developing their why they're doing something other than just for the sake of doing it?
I think everyone wants to do the whole social media thing because they think that it's like the life. Like they think it's like, I can do what I want and film my life and do whatever, but like it's a lot more than that. And I think a lot of people like get on the platform, and then I think they don't succeed as well as they think they are going to, because a lot of people think that they can pick up a camera, like, I'm going to vlog. Like, it's like, why should anyone care about your videos? Like, why should anyone care about what you're filming? Like, you have to give them a reason why to why they should be interested in you. And especially when people hop on social media and they just immediately start selling something, and like you've given no value to the people of like a reason why they should support you or buy things from you. You can't just like, because so a lot of people start social media just so they can sell something. Whereas, someone like, obviously like myself, like, I've been putting out content for years and years and years and years, and like, and I also sell things. Like I also do things, but I also bring value. I don't create my content to sell things to people. I create content and I also have things to sell.
Yeah.
And there's a fine line between that. And, a lot of people create content that's solely focused around the goal to make money. Whereas me, I don't. And I think now it's obviously a lot easier for me now, because I think when you don't necessarily, if you're trying to start in social media and you want to do it full time, like you're like, okay, like you have to treat it as a full time job. So you have to do this thing that like doesn't make you a lot of money. So then you're like, oh, I have to sell stuff because if I want to make a living out of it. And that's where it kind of like,
you guys got to support me.
Yeah, it starts getting complicated. Yeah. Whereas like me, it's almost like because I don't need to make the money from like content, I then can create content that doesn't make me any money, and then I can create content where I don't need to focus on if it's going to, earn me an income, because like I already know that I have income coming in from other things. So it's like I can just create good content. It's not like it's like, oh, I have to make this video where I have to sell something because I need the money. Whereas like me, I'm fortunate that I've built this audience up over the years because I put in the work that like I can just create content that is, whereas other people are like, you're not even like selling anything, you're not even doing anything, like, you're just acting like an idiot on the camera. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I think a lot of people they lose sight of like why they think they should be on the platform. And a lot of people just want to be on social just to get a big audience, to get a big following.
Knowing what you know now about the internet, the social media world, and developing that not only as a platform, but over the years, a business and businesses, like, again, we were talking on the way back from lunch, kind of the things we see in actual brick and mortar businesses, where people are missing the mark. Knowing what you know about social media business, how could you maybe advise someone in the real world, like how to like really leverage success and use what you have used solely as success as a new branch for success and as an extension? Like, where should the brick and mortar businesses should be focusing on social media to really grow?
They just need to be, brick and mortar companies and just companies that have been around for a long time, I think, missed the mark on social media because they're so stuck in their ways of this is how a lot of people don't want to try new strategies because
for the sake of new strategies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or it doesn't like fit. Like they're like, this isn't within our like business model. Like this is missing the scope of like what our mission is or something like that, or like, it doesn't fit the look of the brand.
That's not how my great granddad would have done the paperwork or
the
advertising.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people, they miss a whole huge opportunity to, nowadays you have to work with influencers. You have to do that as much as, I think a lot of companies don't want to, it's almost like a pride thing, almost like they're like, we don't want these young kids who just take pictures of themselves to, do social media. Like they don't even have jobs. We started this company 10 years ago. It's like, well, 10 years ago, it wasn't like this. Like 10 years
ago, taking a picture couldn't be a job unless you're like a professional photographer.
Yeah, exactly. So I think a lot of people should take advantage of these influencers, not take advantage of them, but like, take advantage of the uses and the benefits that they can bring. And then I think that a lot of companies should just be more open. Like I was discussing earlier, like I think a lot of places would benefit, like, so you want to make whatever business you have like a destination for people to come and you get free publicity. So maybe you take your business and you have super cool artistic things where people can come and take photos, or you make or your product, and like then it's just, people should really market their businesses to be like a place where people want to come and take pictures at their business.
That just gave me a great idea. I don't know if I want to say it on here. Maybe I'll like copyright this before this goes public.
Full of ideas.
It should be like a coffee house, or like maybe like a business theme when they open up multiple ones should just be called For the Gram. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is. And then you just adapt, and it wouldn't be hard. Like I feel like I could open up a business and like I could make it successful if I just like, because I know what people want. I know how to get people wanting the thing that I have, and like and then you just expand it. Like,
let's go back to actually your first job. Well, the real first job, working back at the apothecary back in Virginia. Years of experience there in a brick and mortar family owned business. You knew the owners, very friendly with them. So I'm sure you saw a little bit of the ins and the outs of the business. Also, you were an employee there, and that's right around, I'd say, like the internet bubble, social media bubble. Like, you were probably using it just for fun, but not soon after that, you were using it for a purpose. How would you take what you've done now and go back, let's say, and like you're going to be that apothecary's social media manager? How are you going to add value to that business to help them in the digital world?
That'd be easy. So the old place that I work had a soda fountain where they, sold milkshakes and things like that, and it was very popular when
prescription medication and
exactly.
Small CVS kind of thing.
So it's kind of like almost like a real like Johnny Rockets kind of stuff. But, prescriptions and stuff, and they had like the old vibe of milkshakes and burgers and sliders and things like that. But I think a great thing that if the Darbys are ever listening to this would be to, because it was very popular when I first started it was very popular with like the high school kids. Everyone wanted to go there. All their friends would go in there. And then, to be honest, like the more I worked there, the kids kind of stopped going. The kids maybe it wasn't like an after school destination anymore. It definitely slowed down, and I think the food side of things was just more of like a plus of the pharmacy. It's not really the money maker. It probably broke even. It's just like a thing they have.
It's probably smart. Hey, while you're waiting on your prescription,
exactly,
we'll take your money and buy a
burger.
But
what's something they should 100% do is turn that diner aspect into a real, turn it into the 70s diner, like make it old school, like have bright colors, have just like redesign everything into like a modern retro
waitresses on roller skates.
maybe not that much.